I could have your attention for a moment, I want to introduce our hostess, Dr. Sharon Beatty. This evening is her brainchild. She spent months thinking about it and tweaking it and planning it, and we're so glad that all of you came out and joined her tonight. And now she's going to have some words to say to you.
Those of you guys who know me as being somebody who's very real and authentic. Tonight's banquet is about embracing ourselves, our journey, our struggles, and looking at them head on and accepting them as a part of the person we've become. And so I want to share something with you guys that I've written and just share with you some words of encouragement. She has a smile so bright. She stands erect, her hands down at her side. She is a picture of strength and determination. A woman, a beautiful African-American woman who wears her black hair at her shoulders and smells of fresh coconuts, a cream she wears on her skin. Her lips are full, complementing her medium brown eyes that attempt to hide her true self, her naivety. She stands and stares at her reflection in the mirror. She is proud of who she is and how she is growing, never forgetting where she came from, but still focusing on her destination, and never giving up. I am me, a girl, a lady, a woman. So ladies, I have a question for you tonight. Who are you? Who is the person that you see staring back at you in the mirror? Much of how we see ourselves is influenced by the people closest to us. Parents, partners, friends, teachers. Sometimes the people who are placed in our lives have spoken negative things to us and about us. And at times, we believe them. As a result, some of us went on a search for love, a search for acceptance, searching in the eyes of strangers for it, not realizing that true love is within us. To love, I first need to love myself. I wasn't going to find it in anyone but in me. But no one could tell me that for the longest time. So as every raindrop hit my pillow, a piece of me chipped away. My happiness came and went, like the sunshine on a cold winter day. And when it did come, it only stayed for a moment. But then it began to rain. The raging storm would scream, reminding me of my pain. So happiness came and went, and we wondered why. We asked ourselves the question, why did they do it? Why did they say it? Why did they betray us? Why did they betray us? The truth is, ladies, we betrayed ourselves. We betrayed ourselves because we did not realize our value. We betrayed ourselves because we didn't realize our worth, our resilience, our ability to stand, to fight, to overcome, to face defeat with our head up and eyes ahead. Ladies, tonight, I challenge you to take another look and ask yourself the question again, who am I? Who are you? I can tell you who you're not. You're not your past. You're not the negative things they said or did to you. You are beautiful inside and out. Tonight, I encourage you ladies to connect with each other, to celebrate each other, but to begin that process, if you haven't already, of loving and accepting yourselves, because that's what it's about. Again, many of us, like I mentioned earlier, are looking for this in someone else. Validation, somebody to tell us, you're okay, you're lovable. But we're not even telling that to ourselves. It starts here with us, the believing in yourself. Again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, when we love ourselves, when we truly, truly love ourselves, despite our negative choices, despite our mistakes in the past, something happens when we truly, truly begin to love and accept ourselves. Something beautiful emerges from the inside and illuminates on the outside. And that's what we begin to draw in. Very seldom do we get together as women. And that's what tonight's about. I encourage you guys to encourage each other, to lift each other up, and to support each other. Thank you.
Our first poetry reading of the evening will be given by Tawanda Smith. Let's give her a big hand.
Good evening, ladies. I'm going to take the microphone off the stand. Can you hear me back there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Good evening, ladies. Like Dr. Sharon and Heather had just mentioned, my name is Tawanda Smith, and I flew all the way down here from Seattle, Washington. I'm a Seattle native, and came down here to be with you all during this wonderful occasion. When Dr. Sharon Beatty had asked me to speak, I was very honored and excited. Very honored and excited. Before I begin to speak, I would like to share a poem that I wrote about myself, titled, Who Am I? And this is basically a personal testimony about my own journey to self-discovery for myself. Who am I? I'm a phenomenal and exceptional young woman I am, who has a heart for God's people all across the land. I have a heart of gold with inspiring stories untold that will one day soon come out in book fold. I'm a phenomenal and exceptional young woman who's blessed and who cares about the needs of those who have less and will always give God and others her best. I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter who's determined to keep the light shining inside her. My physical appearance is powerful and strong. Some may perceive it as being evil and wrong, but that's okay because God knew what he was doing when he created this beautiful masterpiece called a human. He created me with abs of steel to protect from the blows that the devil tried to steal. My broad and strong shoulders are for comfort and rest for my sisters and brothers that may be in distress. For I'm just as stout and strong as a tree and excited about how God has created me to be. The Word of God says that the strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and that's why my heart and my body is so unique. My legs are like a stallion, run the course of its race, with determination and power to hurdle every obstacle it faces. My heart, which is my biggest muscle of all, is healthy and wholesome and still pumping strong, and always willing to forgive those who treated me wrong. I grew up thinking that something was wrong with me because I didn't look like society's Cosmo magazine queen. I now know the truth about who God says I am. I am fearfully and wonderfully made in his image and was created to fulfill my God-given purpose and vision, and speaking into the lives of hurt and wounded children who also have been labeled and rejected by humans because of their unique physical appearance. I want to let our youth of today know that don't let others box them in a box and making them believe that they are something and you're not. For God doesn't look on man's outward appearance, but he looks at the heart and all that's within it. I've been through a lot because of my physical health, but that hasn't stopped me from being myself. I will not let lipotrophic diabetes control my life, because with God by my side, I know that everything is all right. For by his stripes, I know that I'm healed, and that's what my heart for 23 years has concealed. I used to be depressed and very suicidal, worshiping false gods and superficial idols. People were my God, for I thought I had to please just to have someone love and accept me for me. I was a track superstar and one of the fastest runners in the state, but yet very lonely, full of anger and self-hate. I didn't understand how people can call me their friend when the only time they ever talked to me is when track season had began. But throughout the rest of the year, I was the ugly girl, the muscle-bound freak, a loner, or a girl who was standoffish and unique, for I hardly ever speak. I put on my smile and walked through the school halls, knowing that my peers didn't like me at all. I could hear them saying mean and cruel things about my physical appearance. I just ignored them, kept walking, pretending like I didn't hear them. One day it got to be a bit too much, and I threw up my hands and said, God, I give up. My heart is heavy, I'm trying to be strong, but no matter what I do, there's always something wrong. I ran into the bathroom stall that day and huddled up in the corner, began to cry and pray. My heart felt like it was bleeding inside, like someone had stabbed me and left me to die. I didn't want to go back to that class or that school because I was tired of being the compassionate fool. I was showing respect and being very kind, holding back from speaking what was really on my mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Tawanda. And our next poetry reading will be Epiphany Cole. Let's welcome her.
So as women, it's safe to say that we all go through trials. We go through our own journeys in life. I can say that from my experience, I've gone through so much just with men and with hating myself and looking in the mirror and saying, I don't like the way that I look. I don't look like the women in the magazines. I don't look like, what society says I'm supposed to look like. I'm not worthy, basically. So I want to share with you tonight my journey, my experience. It's raw, and I want you guys to feel it because it's raw. And I want to be honest with you because I have nothing to hide about what I've been through, who I am today, or who I'm still trying to become. The poem I'm calling this is My Talk with Reality. I stare in the mirror at this woman that I see, cute, smart, but delirious as can be. My eyes tear up as I cover my face. Am I a woman? Am I a girl? No. I'm a statistical disgrace. I've turned into this monster full of insecurities and defeat. I uncontrollably doubt myself as my worries rise from my feet. I realize I'm dying inside of my soul, but this woman inside of me wants to live and unfold. All this time I've waited for someone to save me. On his horse I would ride, in his arms I would be. My tall, dark, handsome prince, a lie I depicted that I knew never existed. I look up to see reality has joined to talk about my shame. But who else but me is to blame about my insecurities and love games? I feel like my life has spiraled out of control. It started the first time I said to have and to hold. What do I need to do to keep him from running away? Beautiful eyes, cute face, perfect body, a skinny waist. How about a beautiful smile and strong mind? Overwhelming confidence and godly shine. I roll my eyes as reality gives me advice. What could you possibly know about my life? I know that you're worried, scared, and buried in all the pain that you wait on reoccurring. You confuse love for the fear of being alone, and you end up in a chaotic and emotional cyclone. You shed tears for a man, yes, this is true. Yet when have you seen his eyes tear up for you? You're right, I say. I'm a fool for doubting my strength. There has always been power in my heart that I've kept at an arm's length. It is your strength that has kept you from killing your spirit. Believe it or not, people have told you this. You were just too stubborn to hear it. You are a warrior dressed in armor, standing above your pain, fighting off your enemies from the power they try to drain. Phenomenal woman you are, tall and strong you will be, with your sword in hand and your haters at your feet. You will stand tough in your mind while your heart will finally be free. Thank you.
Okay, at this point in the evening, we welcome any of you to come up and offer a poem, an experience, a thought. This is your time. This is your open mic.
All right.
So give a big hand because this is hard to do. So each lady, as you come up to the open mic. Please introduce yourselves. Let us know what you're going to give us, okay?
Hi, my name is Larissa, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of my journey. Okay, so I'm 28 years old. I have 2 boys. I'm a single mom. Sorry. Okay, it started, hold on, sorry. Take your time. Okay. When I was 16 years old, I ended up in a bad relationship. I ended up pregnant, and I ended up thinking he loved me, but he didn't. We both ended up on drugs really bad. He passed away from drugs, and I stood with our son, who's now 11 years old. And it's been pretty hard. After he passed, I ended up pregnant with my second son, who's now 7 years old. And I'm still trying to find myself and get my life together because I dropped out of school in 7th grade. And so I'm back in school right now. Ended up marrying a man 7 years. I was with him for 7 years, and we got divorced about a year and a half ago. And he was emotionally abusive, but in the past I've been physically abused and everything you could think of. And I thought he loved me because I'm like, you know, well, somebody really wants to marry me, and it wasn't true. Anyways, this is the first year that I've stood strong, knowing that I don't need him in my life anymore. And I'm not trying to talk bad about him, but I'm finally strong, that's what I'm trying to say. So, I know this ain't a poem, but it's a little bit about my life. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Dinah Vargas, and currently I'm working with grassroots journalism and taking photos of people, stories of people about other people. And primarily the reason why we had started it was because we felt that there was so many social and political injustices, but nobody had a real outlet to go to. So Burque Media sort of filled that gap, right? And so in doing that, we came across, has anybody heard of Tent City? Yeah. Right? So I personally started out, along with the ABQ Justice, a direct action group that I roamed the streets with, started at Tent City 1. And once that was dispersed, we have been with them, same people now at Tent City 7, same people, different encampment, right? And so I got so involved in like all of these words that were written behind the keys of a message board from the news medias, from people on Facebook, social media, the newspaper, whatever. And some of them were so horrible, like, why don't you just pick yourself up? I did it. Or, you know, just horrible things that they just wanted to hand out and things like that. And though a lot of that may be true for some people, but it's sort of true whether you're sheltered or not, right? So crimes exist whether we have a house or not, or drugs exist whether we have a house or not. And like that was really a hard message to get out to people, and I struggled with it a lot because you know, I've been involved in social and political injustices, marching, protesting, systemic change, whatever, but I'd never been so affected by people, you know, in part because like I touched their hands. And yeah, like the camp isn't ideal. I mean, it's not ideal for me, but it's what they have. It's just a shelter, right? A roof over their head. Because shelters aren't the goal, you know, they aren't the only solution, though our newspapers and our media keep trying to tell us that. And so I stopped feeding the homeless, right? I started sharing meals with them. See, because like I didn't have to feed them because they could panhandle for that. And they do. So like everyone's $1, right? You got a dollar, you got a dollar, you got a dollar. I'd say the same thing. But if you ever just share a meal with somebody, if you ever just stand with somebody, then the perception is different. You know what I'm saying? So we're more than one story, and so are people. And the most revolutionary thing we could do is always stand with people. Yeah. Hasta la victoria.
I saw many of you guys looking at your program. Unfortunately, Mrs. Ramona King was unable to make it tonight. So right now, I want to spend a few moments to recognize some awesome ladies. And then after we do that, we dance. Tonight, we're celebrating our journeys as women. These 4 women I've gotten a chance to get to know personally, and I'm giving them all empowerment awards. The certificates say the same thing. The empowerment award is awarded to, and I'll say the person's name. The first award goes to a young lady who I met about 5 years ago. When I met this young lady, she was struggling just to achieve her GED, and she was on welfare, taking care of her daughter, her husband, and disabled cousin. When I met with this young lady, I talked to her a little bit about her future. And at the time, she didn't have a whole lot of future goals. She thought what she saw before her was what she was going to have in the future. One of the things I encouraged her to do was think about what she was thinking about. I talked about how success, what determines success or failure, is not where you're at today. It's what's in the mind. So what you can accomplish if you set your mind to something, you can accomplish it. That was 4 years ago. Today, this young lady is working and has a bachelor's degree. Please congratulate Melissa Logic. Melissa, are you here? Okay, she's not here, so I will make sure she gets this. The next few certificates are with, again, like I said, ladies that I've worked with over the period of time of 2 or 3 years. The first award goes to Marina Mayes.
Hello, ladies. Just wanted to say thank you, Dr. Beatty. Really what helped me throughout therapy was going to the group therapy and hearing all of your ladies' inspiring stories. Really helped me to love myself and get a new outlook on life and really put things in a perspective for myself. So I just want to say thank you to you all wonderful, strong ladies. You all are amazing.
The next award goes to, and she better not be in the bathroom, she said she was going to hide, so I'm giving you a heads up, is Valerie Zarati.
Actually, my name is Grace, if I tell them it's there.
And our last empowerment award goes to Patricia Brand.
A little over a year ago, I came to Sharon. I had just moved back from Missouri rather quickly. One of my best friends came to me with Sharon's card and said, "Please call." And she was terrified. I was already about to be going back to Missouri to a situation that was not safe for anyone, especially my kids, and especially myself. And I am so blessed that my friend did that for me, gave me Sharon's card. I called, I went, I started. And it's let me rediscover myself. and who I am as a woman and as a mother, and the dreams I have. And thank you, Sharon, because I don't think I could have done without her.
Okay, ladies, are you ready? It's time to dance. Maybe not.
Isn't this lady amazing? For those who don't know, this is my mother. I just want to recognize her because I'm not going to cry. She has been an inspiration to me. She's raised me as a single mom. I just remember being young and not even really wondering where Daddy was because my mother was so amazing. I never wanted for anything. I never needed anything that I didn't have. And even things I wanted, I had it. You know, she was amazing. And to see her giving back what she's giving me to all of you, I think is just beautiful. And I want to recognize her because it's important to do that. And I want her to know how important she is to me and how important she obviously is to all of you. So can we please give her a round of applause?
Now let's dance. Everybody up.
Walk it by yourself.